What's going on, crypto fam? Chadwick Bailey here. Decided to make a video today. It's been a while since I made a video. Try to make more of these videos, just had a lot going on, and I need to get in the habit of in the routine of doing these videos on a regular basis. But nonetheless, I'm making a video today. This video today, I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, and some of the altcoins. I'm not going to focus too much on Bitcoin. Why I'm not going to focus too much on Bitcoin, I'll just kind of sum it up. This channel is kind of more or less, kind of news and updates and stuff like that, and kind of where I think the market may be going. Bitcoin to me is just kind of this outdated technology, this non-scalable, now censorable blockchain, and the layer 1 isn't even ready to scale. The Lightning Network has 2,000 Bitcoins and it's not even on chain, it's off chain. So I don't really spend a lot of time with Bitcoin. It's kind of like buying a computer with Windows 98. There's a lot of cool projects out there that are fundamentally better than Bitcoin, other than examining the market cap and how long the chain is, and what's the longest chain, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really make a lot of sense for me to talk about something like Bitcoin right now, because the actual Bitcoin that was highlighted in Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper, as you know, if you're familiar with that white paper, it is not conducive to electronic peer-to-peer electronic cash. It doesn't make any sense. It just is too expensive, it's too slow, and just overall has a lot of obstacles that haven't been able to come to a consensus within the community to update the block size and to create a scalable crypto. It just doesn't make sense until the community can kind of come together and make Bitcoin peer-to-peer electronic cash for the world, where we can onboard people in third world countries that don't want to have to do a KYC and don't want to have to do a $50 fee just to buy their first Bitcoin and send it, or a third party, which is, a company that's going to bring you onto the Lightning Network for a fee that you pay with a credit card. It's censorable, guys. You can do that with Bitcoin Cash. You can do that with Bitcoin SV. And basically, it doesn't require all those high fees. It's on-chain, so it's an on-chain transaction rather than the Lightning Network currently being off-chain. So there's a lot of reasons that, BCH, BSV kind of shine there. Those are just some of the reasons, but I'm going to focus more on BCH this video. I kind of just highlight BSV just because of the fact that the community is strong, not because of some of the characters in the space of BSV, like Craig Wright and some of the people that are into BSV. The actual community itself is strong though, so I will kind of highlight on this video a little bit about BSV, but for the most part, the channel that I have is more on BCH, just because it was the original fork of Bitcoin. It has the strongest community in my opinion. It has the most listed, it's listed on the most exchanges, so it's it's definitely gained some traction over the last couple years, even though the ROI on compared to Bitcoin hasn't been too good to this point. I am bullish on it big time, just because a lot of these coins can trend down against ROI on Bitcoin, and it can kind of go down on Bitcoin and then suddenly just shoot up. So I'm not really too worried about kind of where we are at with Bitcoin Cash. I think Bitcoin Cash fundamentally has a strong first layer. I watch a lot of podcasts, and that's kind of like what the Bitcoin Cash gurus kind of preach the most, is the actual first layer of Bitcoin Cash, with merchants and the way to onboard people, and how easy it is to set up a wallet, and how easy it is to get somebody to do their first transaction on Bitcoin Cash. That really is kind of the key aspects that is going to onboard a lot of people. So yeah, that being said, I'll just kind of move on with the video and kind of see kind of where we're at. Right now, Bitcoin Cash is trading between about 680 and 700 a token. It's up 60% for the last month. And fundamentally, we're looking at strong technicals, even though you can argue that cryptos don't follow any kind of technicals. You might be able to spot a low or anything, but as far as like using technical indicators to try to track where crypto is going all that. It's not really how it works. It's almost impossible to predict using that. So it's kind of a different beast. But if you're new to the channel and you're bullish on Bitcoin Cash, you've landed at the right spot. Where I kind of see Bitcoin Cash going and kind of where it's at now is, if you look at it compared to Bitcoin, it's really gone, it's been a poor performer over the last, couple years, ever since really the last rally in 2017. Ever since in its inception, it spiked up to a little bit, up and down between like 2 Bitcoin, 0.4 Bitcoin, and now it's trading a lot lower. So, most people right now are kind of like, either if they've purchased Bitcoin Cash or they've been holding Bitcoin Cash, they're kind of either accepted the fact that it's gone down against Bitcoin, but they've also recognized the most important factors of the actual token itself. So if you take a hodler, right, somebody that's been holding Bitcoin for, I don't know, 5+ years, 6+ years, whatever, maybe since 2009, if they had it offline and didn't have it on Mt. Gox exchange that got hacked, I think that you'll see kind of a similarity. And the similarity is, Bitcoin hodler has one goal in mind: to hold their crypto. They're not going to sell their crypto. They're not going to trade their crypto. They're going to buy and hold their crypto. So these same people that have Bitcoin, right? They have Bitcoin for 6-7 years. They have, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of Bitcoin, however the number may be. On that fork date, I believe, it's been almost 3 years now. Almost 4 years. Wow. So when Bitcoin Cash forked from Bitcoin, those people got credited with their tokens, right? They got a 1-for-1 on the Bitcoin. They had 1 BTC. They got 1 BCH credited to their account, through their wallet, to wherever, if they had to put their funds onto exchange and then take them off, whatever. They knew the fork was coming. They got credited the big BCH. So they got a 1-for-1 BCH. And then in August 2018, BCH forked, they got a 1-for-1 BSV, BCH BSV, whatever, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. So these people that have this same mindset of hodl, right? They are holding all 3 tokens, all 3, and they're not going anywhere. They don't care which one performs better. They don't care, which one the miners decide to mine. The miners don't care about Bitcoin. They're just going to mine whatever's profitable. So it doesn't really matter where the miners are at currently right now. As soon as it's more profitable to mine BCH or BSV, I think more likely BCH, just because it's a stronger chain. It's got more, it's got a bigger community behind it, and it's just listed a lot more places, and it's on the Bitcoin website. So I think BCH, easily could replace Bitcoin. I think we're going to see a breakout of that maybe sooner than we would think. A lot of people, that are holding Bitcoin, they don't like BCH, but you know what? Those same people, they're pushing the wrong brand. They're pushing the wrong membership of the community, because why would I want to send somebody Bitcoin and have to wait almost 24 hours if the network's running really slow to validate my block and to get that, digital signature over to someone else, and just to verify the transaction, to verify the money's been received. You're talking hours. You're talking 24 hours or more. I've done it. I've seen it. The community wasn't able to, expand the block size because of security reasons, but that's not the reason, guys. They didn't expand the block size because they want the fees to be high. They want the network to be congested. They want everything to be slow. They don't want peer-to-peer electronic cash for the world. They want to have all these Wall Street people pile in, slow down the network, spike up the price. The price will come with merchants and onboarding people sending Bitcoin Cash. That is where Bitcoin Cash will shine, is when you start seeing these countries, El Salvador, Argentina, Chile, some of these countries that are experiencing inflation, maybe Afghanistan now. I mean, there's other countries that are having problems in some of these more developed countries, and I think eventually the U.S., China, and Australia will experience all these similar problems. I think it's just a process of these less developed countries and weaker governments in some of these countries. They're going to experience it first, but I think the U.S. is going to experience it first. And once inflation starts happening and these monetary policies start failing, that's where you're going to see more onboarding for BCH. BCH, kind of highlighting on that, BCH is way easier to onboard people, and people can actually use it as a currency. They can actually transact at a merchant or between each other with BCH, and it can be super fast and super cheap, and it really does kind of go against or kind of go with the flow of Satoshi's white paper. So I think that's kind of where the fundamental elements of BCH kind of really stand apart from Bitcoin. And you know, just because the price now is 680, it could easily be 6,000 in less than a month. I mean, if you look at the rally of 2017, these spikes don't happen really over like long consecutive period of time. Like if you look at Bitcoin, you know, Bitcoin was trading between, you know, $200 and $1,000 for a year before the rally of 2017 and 2016 up to that point, and then in less than like what 2-3 months it went all the way to 20k. So I think BCH will really follow the same trajectory of Bitcoin, because essentially it is Bitcoin. And you know, really what's controlling all this, these graphs are really just computer programs trading back and forth. It's not people like me and you that are making purchases on, you know, a weekly basis or, you know, a monthly basis and kind of establishing these long-term positions. It's really, you know, a lot of this volume is manipulated because it's unregulated, and a lot of the exchanges, you know, that have these huge piles of Bitcoin are just shuffling Bitcoins back and forth into some of these altcoins. You know, speaking of that, altcoins in general, I mean, look at Ethereum Classic, okay? I know this video is more about BCH, BSV, mostly BCH, but if you look at ETC, Ethereum Classic, we've experienced the same kind of elements. It's been, you know, the double spending. The hackers have hijacked 51% of the network. This has happened just a few months ago. So a lot of people, you know, they read this news and they say, you know, they don't really understand it. They don't really understand what a 51% attack means. They don't really understand mining in general. They just buy this stuff on hype. So they really don't understand what's going on here. So if you look at ETC, just a few months ago on the news, it got 51%, you know, they took 51% of the hash rate. They were controlling the chain. It's happened a couple times with ETC. And my point is, if you look at ETC, it was trading between like $3 and $9 for roughly 3 years. I had some positions in ETC. I still have the positions in ETC. So what I'm going with this is, despite all those news and those news articles about, you know, the chain becoming hacked and, you know, it being vulnerable to being, you know, double spending, and, you know, people hear this stuff, they get super turned off about it. They're not trying to buy ETC at all, but look what it did. It did a 20x and went up to $209 3 months ago. Back in May, I think it was May or June, or maybe a little before May, April, May. But my point is like, you know, all that news, all that negativity on ETC, and then look, it does a 20x gain. It's now trading at roughly $65 to $70, which, you know, that $5, you know, 65 to 70 was basically the entire net worth, or our entire spot price on ETC for close to 3 years. So I think that's what you're going to see with all the altcoins. You're going to see these huge spikes, and you're going to see these massive gains, just like Doge. You know, and what's going to happen is once they hit these high levels, they're going to go down for sure, but it's going to do this weird thing where it does go super far up and brings on a lot of new people, and then goes super far down for those people who bought high. But then those people can't establish a position because it's trading in between that huge jump and then that even bigger jump. So the people that are just holding are just kind of watching all this stuff happen, and the people that bought it after the hype, you know, and then made money off of it, they kind of get trapped. It's kind of like quicksand. They kind of get trapped in the trade, like they did with Doge, and they either hold, and now they're holding Doge at like 30 cents, or they're holding ETC at like $50, $60, and they're up a little bit and they're holding, but they don't realize like it was at, you know, $3 to $10 for 3 years. So there's people like me that have, you know, bought it a lot earlier that are up 300-400%. It doesn't matter where it trades. It doesn't matter if it goes down to 40 to 30. We're still way up, and we're still holding. We're still at 5x, 6x gains. And the reason I speak of ETC right now is just based on the fact that Bitcoin Cash and BSV and all the other top altcoins, Monero, Neo, all of them, they're all going to pump to these huge levels. It's just a matter of, it's not if, it's just when they pump. And if you're just holding your position, since they're based on trading pairs, based on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash trading pairs, Litecoin trading pairs even, I mean, there's tons of trading pairs. That's when the money's getting shuffled back and forth, and people are either, if they're selling, they're not able to reestablish their previous position. And if they buy in, they're gonna probably go down because they bought too high, and they're gonna get trapped in that like quicksand moment. And most are gonna sell. There's gonna be some people that hold, but the people that hold and the people that come on, they really don't have big positions. They don't really have, you know, $100,000 positions like I have. They have more, you know, like $3,000 or $4,000 positions is like a big position, right? Not these people that are, you know, they're not coming in with hundreds of thousands of dollars and buying, you know, BCH or BSV once it goes to $6,000-$7,000 a token. They're just, you know, BCH hit 4,000, over 4,000 in 2017 briefly, you know, on some exchanges. And it would make sense that if you look at Ethereum and Bitcoin and Doge and some of these other ones, and the whole Doge spike doesn't even make sense. I mean, you know, they haven't even done any work on that project in years. You know, they can mint new tokens out in basically thin air. So, you know, for Doge to spike that much, I think it only shows that the you know, possibility of BCH really reaching these really high levels. And when I mean high levels, I'm talking like to go to 10 grand would be absolutely nothing, because if you look at the gains of some of these other cryptos that have happened, they've already tripled or quadrupled their all-time high of 2017. So I mean, you're looking at $16,000 for BCH would not be even, you know, wouldn't even faze me. Like if big BCH went to 16K, I'd be like, okay, I wouldn't sell anything. I might wait for it to go to 20 and maybe I don't know, maybe I'd sell a token or two to have, you know, some monkey money and have the US dollars to maybe spend on some, you know, junk or whatever. But I'm not gonna like sell my precious BCH. I mean, I have almost 100 of them. I've accumulated them, you know, over time, and I know the true value. It's like buying Bitcoin back in 2015 or 2016. That's kind of where BCH is. You know, and I think if you look at some of the elements of BCH against Bitcoin, if you look at the graphs against Bitcoin and against Ethereum, you'll see it's been in a huge downtrend. But those downtrends do not matter once it goes right back to, you know, like I said, Bitcoin Cash has been at 0.4 Bitcoin, you know, a couple times in the beginning since it got forked. If it goes to 0.4 of a Bitcoin now, you know, what is it going to be? It's going to be, well, even right now, Bitcoin at, you know, almost 50K, it's going to be, you know, $20,000. So it just, you know, people buy this stuff and they really don't understand how it trades. So they're kind of trying to trade off the news or something like that. But really, I think some of the real potential and huge gains over the next couple months and before the end of the year is in Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, if you look at Neo and Monero, they've broken out of a 3-month low. So they're not broken out of a 3-month low. They've not only broken out of a 3-month low, they're breaking out of a 3-month high. So they're going even higher. So I think once you start seeing like tokens like Lisk, if you look at Lisk, how it's performed, it's breaking out too from the 3-month. And you know, these support levels are nothing more than computers trading this stuff back and forth, high frequency trading. The same people making these exchanges are the same people writing derivatives and trading programs for Wall Street. So they're very, very talented in that kind of space. So, you know, with less regulation like we have in crypto, you know, the sky's the limit. I think Bitcoin Cash could easily go to 100 grand, easily per token. I mean, if you go back and you look at Jihan Wu, the CEO of Bitmain, making all the mining computers and stuff like that, he's one of the biggest supporters of Bitcoin Cash, biggest holders of Bitcoin Cash, and he predicted within 5 years Bitcoin Cash is over $100,000 a token, which is insane. And it doesn't have to do that. It can do that within a few months. Like, it doesn't have to, you know, you might say, oh, well, how is Bitcoin Cash gonna, you know, gather a $2 trillion, you know, $3 trillion market cap in a few months? Well, you'd be surprised. I think the entire global market is something like 173 trillion, or maybe that's just the US alone. You could Google it, it's easy to find out. But my point is who's to say that we can't take some of that volume off of Bitcoin? We can't take some of that new volume in. I mean, it's 10 billion right now. Market cap on BCH, 10 to 12 billion. It's been 4 times that market cap in the beginning. So, 40, 50 billion. Look how much market cap ETC has accumulated. It was less than $1 billion a couple months ago, and now it's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 billion. You could look it up. But, these tokens are all going to trade higher. And another thing that is worth noting, I think, on Robinhood is Robinhood trades only a few tokens: Litecoin, ETC, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. So I would bet that, and Doge. And I did read that one of their biggest holdings is in Doge. So I think what Robinhood's trying to do is Robinhood makes money off their clearinghouse. They're, these small little fees that are built into every trade that you don't see and kind of goes unnoticed. Robinhood isn't feeless. There might not be a fee that you see, but trust me, it's built into the spot price or whatever price you're buying. So I think Robinhood's trying to control the cryptos that are on its in its brokerage, like their in-house brokerage that has their trading token. Like, they're trying to control those. So I think that they're, if you're on Robinhood or you're holding, any of the cryptos I just mentioned on Robinhood, I really think that Robinhood is going to put a lot of money and a lot of their balance sheet into those tokens. And I think that they're going to try to control those tokens and try to be, huge whales, just so they can wipe out these little position people and gain more positions over time. So that might be something to watch out for. But yeah, so I'm glad I made this video. I'll try to make more of them. But if you have any questions or anything, shoot me a message, or just spread the word, man. I mean, this stuff's going to happen really quick. There's no reason to not spread the word now, because everybody has a tendency to buy this stuff when it's super high and when it's jumped already. So tell people now. I tell people every day. I try to tell people, buy Bitcoin Cash. I tell them, it's supposed to be electronic payment, or peer-to-peer electronic cash for the world. We got a strong community. We got Roger Ver behind us. We got people that have been in the space for a while that want to see this stuff actually do what it's supposed to do, and not just, smoke and mirrors people into buying it and pump the price, because the price will come with time. The price will come with a good layer 1 foundation, and then, past that, layer 2, and so on. We've completed, Schnorr signatures on BCH. Some of the stuff that they're now trying to do with BTC, it's already done with BCH. BCH has already done it. They moved on. They're building new stuff on BCH. Kim.com and some of these other people are now on it, trying to kind of integrate it with gamers to try to make peer-to-peer electronic cash through gaming platforms. So, I think this stuff's got to be pretty big, and we're just kind of in the first stages. Here's a little tour of Southern California, guys. It's just where I live. It's no biggie. It's just an apartment complex. It's just kind of a cool little view. I just moved here, so that's a lot of the reason I haven't been doing these videos. I've been kind of setting the new place up and stuff like that. There's old buddy. There's the old guy. But yeah, shoot me a message. Shoot me a comment. Give me a like, whatever. Nothing really on this channel that's I'm not really trying to make money off this channel or anything like that. It's just for fun and to kind of preach the crypto Bible. So yeah, guys, talk to you later.